Hello and welcome to the Creative Element Podcast with me, Peter the Barber,
Me, Sean, the tattooer.
and we are talking about all things barbering, tattooing, business, and Liverpool in general, and what we think should be happening with our city.
Why did you even want to be a barber?
I didn't. I literally just finished school and didn't have a clue what to do, and went to go and get my hair cut, and the barber had a make, and I was like, I'd have a make me. So I just asked him for the job. I literally got a job like the next day in there.
So where was that?
In West Derby. Mark Powell.
So how old were you?
17, 18 maybe. Yeah, 17.
Just a money-hungry little shit.
Still am now. Nothing's changed at all, to be honest.
So how long did that take? So was that like a proper apprenticeship?
I ended up getting a proper apprenticeship with going to college and all that, like. And then ended up just getting sacked out of there for doing.
You got sacked off the apprenticeship?
Nah, about 2 years after the apprenticeship, I got sacked.
What?
Robbing the clients and doing them at home. Exactly what I do now. But I literally got sacked at 9 o'clock in the morning. And then I had the new job by 10 o'clock in the morning.
In a different shop?
Yeah, she went to town in a barber's and she went, "Do you want a barber?" And they went, "Let's see how good you had then." And then just started working there.
So how does it work? Do you go to college like 2-3 days a week, and then you do maybe 2 or 3 days a week in the shop as well?
Yeah, I think it was 4 days in the shop and 1 day a week in college. Like you don't learn anything in college at all. But
Were you skinned?
yeah, yeah. But after that, just ended up becoming a barber. I worked in a pub as well at the same time. So I used to, on a Friday, finish work in the barbers at 6. Probably just go to Chippy. Yeah, I used to go to Chippy straight from work, have a quick scran, and then start working in the pub till 2 o'clock in the morning. And then get home at about 3 o'clock. And then get up at about 6:30, 7 to start work again at 8 o'clock the next day on Saturday.
See, that was like me, yeah. See, ours is similar. So what did I do? I was working with my dad. My dad's a joiner. So I was just labouring with him. And then, so I was working in town on Renshaw Street. That's where it started.
As a joiner?
No, as a tattoo artist.
Oh.
Well, tattoo apprenticeship. That's where it started. So,
do you have to go to college and that?
No, there's the thing with tattooing. There's nothing that's...
There's no qualification?
It's not government recognised. There's courses, but we can get to them. We can discuss why they're a disgrace a little bit later. But there's nothing. There's no sort of college setup or legitimate qualification for tattooing. It's just go and seek out your mentor who you want to learn from, and see if they'll give you the time of day. Sometimes they probably won't, but it's hard to get into.
How did you start tattooing? Do you literally just pick up a needle gun and just start going, this?
You know what? Probably the very start. We were 15. We always wanted to do it. And I remember being in the house. My dad was away on holiday, and he was like 3 of the lads and ours. And I was like, you know what? I watched this video on YouTube the other week, and it was some fella in prison that was tattooing with a Leckie toothbrush.
Fuck now.
So I said to him, I was like, Mark, I've got a Leckie toothbrush in ours here. Like, yeah, come on, we'll do it. We'll all do it. And my doorbell been on the aisle all night and everything, so this is like 2 in the morning. Got my Leckie toothbrush out, and you take the head off the Leckie toothbrush, and it's left with this little cam motor inside it. And then, the rubber off a mechanical pencil.
Yeah.
Take one of them off, and my dad plays the guitar. There's loads of guitars in ours. So cut a guitar string on an angle so it's sharp, and then that sits in the rubber on this cam inside the Leckie toothbrush, which then obviously...
It's like a needle, isn't it?
It makes the needle go in and out. Obviously makes
You're good
the
with
needle
needles and holes, aren't you?
pushing up and down. The ink, the ink was... I don't know why we done it, it's terrible. When
She's like a barrow or something?
No, I watched another video on YouTube, and he was a fella in like this American prison who was... Do you know plastic razors?
Yeah.
So if you melt a plastic razor, so you put a lighter against the plastic razor, and then the smoke raises. So if you put a mirror above that smoke that's raising, it collects like this black sooty ash on this mirror above it. And then you can scrape it off that mirror, and mix it with antibacterial mouthwash. And that's what we use for ink.
Who's
So
got that tattoo now?
So one of my mates now, he'll be 30, 31, and he's walking around with this little smiley face on his knee.
You need to
And that's how we done that.
You need to get a picture of it and put on a caption on this video of what that looks like now.
Yeah, I'll try and find it. Yeah.
Up here. That's what the YouTubers do, they go up here and then it's like a square there. No. Bam. Check it out. What's probably the worst experience you've had?
In what way?
Tattooing someone that's like, you're going, that hurts, that, and move, then all of a sudden they've got a big line down around.
I haven't done anything like that, but I've had people throwing up. Yeah, so no one's actually, I haven't like started tattooing anyone, and someone's been like, and like pulled away.
Do you notice when people are about to move away? Because in barbering, like,
yeah,
you get a sense that someone's about to like move or something.
You'll get similar with the phone as well. If you're
it's not worse than when you're cutting someone's hair and they go, hello, like that, halfway through.
Or I can imagine when you're cutting hair and like people are looking down and you're trying to get in certain places. It's similar for us. If someone sat there on the bed, and do you know what the worst is? If someone drops the phone. That's the worst. If someone...
Because the reactions to just move.
Yeah, sometimes you don't mind them being on the phone, but for example, if they're lying on a bed and then they drop the phone and they don't even remember that they're getting tattooed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they've done this big... And then they go, oh, sorry, mate. And you're looking at it thinking, oh, that was close there. See, I'm lucky the style that I do. I'm not putting like solid lines into this. So for example, if you were putting like a solid line into the skin and, you know, you're putting that weight and pressure behind it, if someone does do that jerking motion, fucked. That's the wonky line. That fucked. Luckily, with what I'm doing, I'm sort of like...
How'd you fix that? You can't. Just make it thick.
You can if you know... You can sort of double up on the line, but then that'd mean, you know, you're looking at that piece then, that one doubled up line stands out. So you'll have to go down the whole piece, doubling up on certain lines then, so it looks a bit more balanced out, you know what I mean? But luckily with what I'm doing with like a mag, which is a bit more like a paintbrush, if I do have them like rough movements, if someone does move, it doesn't really show on the skin.
So there's different types of tattooing?
Yeah, so my style that I do, I can get away with it a bit more. If someone does jerk, it's like, it doesn't matter. And I'm not in cut, that doesn't mean you start moving when I'm tattooing you, don't.
So what, so like, so there's different tattoo artists that I'll just do one straight line, do the whole tattoo with one straight line.
Well, if you're like a traditional tattooer who's doing like a traditional piece, or imagine like writing a name on a wrist,
yeah,
and then you get someone going, that's that name on the wrist, just
fucked.
That's that line, fucked basically. Yeah, no going back. So
that's where barbering is very, very lucky, to be honest, because
it grows back.
Unless you're nearly bald, it doesn't grow back, but at least it grows back. There's I go a few times where like people have said trim, right?
What do you mean trim?
So like when you say when you go to the barber and say what do you want, right? You go, it's just a trim, right?
So it's like just
trim all over, but it sounds like two. And like when you're learning, trim and two sounds dead similar because your head's gone because you're thinking, oh, this person's trusting me to cut their hair. I could fuck his life up here for the next 4 weeks at least, right? So like you'll go, it's two, yeah, and you go, yeah, so it's trim. Right, so you just get a two and go, fuck off, like that.
And you just take all the hair off?
Just gone, yeah. It only ever happened once to me, to be fair.
What's he do?
Just went, you got a bit too short there, you know, mate. I was like, you said a two, didn't you? No, trim. And I went, well, it's one of them, innit? It's going to have to grow back, mate. Like that. So yeah, I ended up just like dead short and sad with a little comb over, but you weren't best pleased.
How old are you at this point?
It's probably about 18, 19 maybe.
Does everyone in the shop see? You know, when you have that awkward, like...
He didn't kick off with anything, so I'd imagine people probably noticed, but like I've probably got away with it, to be fair. That's probably not the best, but...
Does he come back?
I can't remember that now, it was about 15 years ago. I'm too old now. There's one story that sticks out for me when I was an apprentice, like getting into it. Like, if you get your hair cut, you notice the barber gets the comb and he combs over your head all the time. Do you notice that?
Why is that?
Right, because you got to feel for moles.
Is that what it is? Is that why
spots and stuff?
Is that literally what it is? So
yeah.
So it's not even about combing the hair; it's just feeling for moles.
Yeah, because
I never knew that.
You'll go with like you should anyway. Like barbers probably don't because they're thick as fuck. But so you come down and feel for spots and moles.
I
And
don't
I
know
learned
that.
this the hard way because remember I was cutting this lad's hair and he asked for a Mohican. So it's the haircut just stands out for me anyway. And he was like, yeah, just like a note, and then like I want a Mohican, and I was like, fucking weirdo. But gave him it anyway. Right, and as I was going around his ear, the clip was like stuck a bit, and I was like, clump of hair, yeah, and cough like that. And all of a sudden, just seen this little brown thing, like that, and I was like, what's that there? This little brown like piece of shit was on the floor, and I went, mate, is that a mole that I've just took off there? And he went, yeah, it happens all the time, don't worry. And then I looked at the back of his head.
Is he bleeding?
The back of his head was literally just pouring with blood. And I was like, how does that happen all the time, mate? And he went, everyone just goes through it. And I was just like, making moles literally on the floor, yeah. Like, do you want it back?
Throwing shocky buttons everywhere.
So literally I had to do the rest of the haircut with him holding, like putting pressure on it to keep it in. That was
Scary, that.
But like that's how you realise, like, because I remember when the boss used to say to me, oh yeah, you got to come when you feel for moles and that. And I was just like, you're going to know if someone's got a mole, you'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
But like, obviously you can't always see it. So a bit of advice for any barbers out there, just make sure you're combing properly, lad.
Make sure you're feeling for them moles.
Yeah.
I didn't half know that.
Stroke
That's something
moles.
new, that. I thought
Yeah.
you were just combing the hair and trying to get like a sense of direction with it. I didn't know there was anything about a mole.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Like, but you are trying to get a
It's
sense
mad,
of
that,
direction as well. You got to do all sorts. It's hard work, barbering, Loads of concentration involved.
Have you had people throwing up?
No, never had anyone throw up, to be fair. It used to happen all the time years ago when I was in West Derby. I used to get loads of our fellas that used to go in and they'd just fall asleep. But like the amount of times we'd fall asleep, you'd be like,
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
but you'd have to like wake them up when it's done, and the fear goes through you where you're like,
Are they dead?
is this fella alive?
What you do? You just post them.
You just gotta like give them that, that little gentle nudge. Like, you're all right, mate.
Oh.
Mate.
Come on, mate, please.
Please don't do it. Imagine falling around. Hey, he's got a shit haircut, he's dead.
He's dead. Oh, the heartache of a shit haircut. He looked in the mirror and thought, oh my God, and just had a heart attack and died. It was that shit. I've had a good few people throwing up, like. The worst one I've had for throwing up, obviously we're not going to name any names and stuff like that and make it obvious, but it was when I was in the small... Did you ever see the small shop when I was by myself? You didn't, did you?
No, I remember you had one on in Anfield.
Well, it was that one, but it was the very first one. And it was only small, it was only me working in there. And you walked in the shop, and it's a small shop, and then the door's in front of you. That door that was in front of you was the toilet. And then I was working, like, literally the other side of that toilet. So anyway, you come in, he was pale, he looked...
Before he'd even got his tattoo.
Well, he's coming in for his appointment on that day, so he's coming in at 10 o'clock. He walked through the door, and you just know when someone's unwell, don't you? He was just dead pasty and pale, and he looked rough. I said to him, what's up with you? He said, oh, I think I had like a dodgy chippy or something last night. So I said, well, have some water, do you want some paracetamol or anything, and just go to the toilet. We sat there, and he's like, no, I'm all right. And I seen him holding his belly, and he went, I'm just going to go to the toilet, mate. And like, he ran the toilet. And obviously...
Now Jordan tattoo?
No, this is, he's,
before?
he's done his consent form, and he's just waiting in like the little front room. So he goes to the toilet. And obviously, when you go to the toilet, if you're there past, how long do you reckon it is? 3-4 minutes. You know someone's having
past
shit.
2 minutes, innit?
I reckon about three minutes. If you're in the toilet longer than that, you're having a shit. And everyone knows it.
Yeah, guaranteed.
But, anyway, he was there. I reckon he was in there for 20 minutes. So after 3 minutes, I thought he's having a shit. After 10, I thought he's got the shit. And then after 15, I thought, is he dead? So anyway, I walked around to the front room, and he come out, and he was like, oh, I'm not well at all, mate. That door opened, and I was like, no. The whole shop stunk. And the shop's only like compact and small, so you couldn't even open the front door and like let the smell of shit out because the shop would be freezing. So anyway, I was like, yeah, no, don't worry, mate. We'll just crack on. So we're cracking on, tattooing him, and I thought, thinking to myself, wish I had a mask here. It just stinks as shit. The whole shop stunk. So sitting there tattooing him, and not even like a word of warning. This has happened to me like a few times now. People don't tend to give me like a heads up. they just throw up all over me. And I don't know why. Like most of the time when you're
You,
gonna be
you,
sick,
you know
don't
about
you?
5 seconds
You know it's
before,
coming.
don't
You're
you?
like, oh,
Like your
my
mouth
belly's
starts
a bit off
watering
here.
and that. Yeah. Oh.
But every time someone's threw up, I've never had a warning. No one's ever said to me, hang on a minute, mate, just give us a few minutes. I think I'm going to be sick. And then walk the toilet and threw up. Every single time someone's threw up, I've just been sat there tattooing and
Ever got
I'm
on
just
you?
covered in. Yeah, it's gone
Yeah.
on me like twice. Yeah.
Oh.
So this fella who had the poo in the shop, tattooing, and again, no words of warning. He just jerked up, just jumped up, and I was like, what's going on here? He jumped up and just went and just threw up over all my workstation. If you can imagine, like your workstation set up, and I've got all my inks and needles set up, all that was just soaked in like a pool of vomit, and it's dripping down my workstation in all like because I've got like a metal tool trolley with all these drawers, and it's like dripping into all these drawers. It's on my knees. It's like dripping down my leg into my sock, and I'm sat there like. I just had no words. I was just looking at him. It stunk of shit. Now it stunk of vomit. And I was like, what? And anyway, he stood up and cleaned all that. And he was like, do you know what, mate? I feel well better now. I'm good to go if you want. And he said to me, I'm good to go. And I was like,
there's nothing else in his body. You might as
you're
well.
fucking joking, aren't you, mate? I'm covered in your sick. I'm looking at the carrots you ate last night.
What didn't you do?
No, what the fuck? I just said, no, I'm not. I need to go home and get changed, mate. Everything stinks of vomit. Like, my jeans are soaked in your vomit. So that was the end of that. And then I never seen him again. That was that
Never seen him again.
Just never come to shop again.
Listen, mate, right, if you ever see this video, get yourself booked back in with the original price that you'd agreed, and I'm sure he'll do
He's
it for
probably
you.
still following, you know, watching this, thinking, you cheeky bastard, telling everyone about that.
Honestly, mate, just book in. Just book yourself in. He'll do it half price. Just throw up on him again.
So you've had no one throwing up?
No one's ever threw up, no. I've had kids. Kids are the worst. Kids are absolute. Like,
Just for being a pain in the ass.
I mean, you'd think, like, as an apprentice or something, you train on the kids because the kids are, you know, no one's really that bothered, are they? But no. Kids are next level. Like, there's one kid, and I've done him since he was about 2, Callum. I'm going to name and shame. He follows me on Instagram, and his mum follows me on Instagram.
You've been doing him since he was 2?
Yeah.
How long have you been cutting his hair for?
15 years. He's a fully grown kid now. But, like, I'll never let him forget the trauma that he put me through. Yeah. Like, he literally, he'd come in and he'd scream. Every other barber would go, oh, I want me dinner. I'm going for a bifter or something. I'd be stood there going, what happened to me? Why have I got to do it? And he'd jump out of the chair, he'd try and grab the scissors, he'd be screaming at you. Like, it was an ordeal. His mum would, like, have to squeeze him like that. Like, I'd have to, like, hold his head.
See, how are you meant to cut his hair? Are you scared, like, cutting his throat or cutting his face off or his ear or something?
Go for it. Ears get cut all the time.
Have you cut ears?
Yeah. Wow, yeah, loads. the worst cut I've ever done, I had to send some fella to A&E. It was like, Joe, when the barber blades your neck, puts the razor, cut throat on your neck. Right, so I'd finished his haircut, luckily for him. Right, and I'm cut throat on his neck, and he was one of those, like, you know, laughing and joking all the time, one of those the kind of customer you want. And he said a joke, and it was crap. But it was like, you know, like, he laughed at his own jokes. And, like, so, like, I'm raising his neck, and he's went, why is the chicken cross the street to get to the side? And he's, like, jumped up. But, like, with the razor on his neck, it literally went through there. And, like, I just went, oh, mate. Like, I proper sliced your neck open. And he was like, it'd be all right. And I was like, no, it's not going to be all right.
Like stitches type?
Like yeah, cut. It was deep. It was, I reckon it was at least an inch in. But those razors are that sharp. Like, it'll just cut through anything like butter, like a knife through butter. So, it's like, mate, it's like, you need to go to the hospital. I can see muscle and everything. Honestly, it was horrific. And he was with his beard was in the shop, luckily, and, like, it was one of those where, like, you literally had to, like, hold the flap, like, over to, like, try and keep it closed. And, like, you had to go to the hospital. Seeing him a couple of weeks later, and I was like, yeah, you're all right after what happened last time? And he was like, yeah, I ended up having to cut away getting it stitched up.
So do you ever have days where...
He didn't even pay.
I'm not surprised if you're
trying
to chop his fucking head off.
It's his fault. He admitted it was his fault. And I remember the next time seeing him, I was like, you got the money there, mate? Start when you have to rush out. She still didn't pay.
Do you ever have days where you've had like a bit of a bad morning and then your client's a bit of a pain in the ass and then you're shaping it and all that with your cutthroat and you're leaning back and you like this little devil in your brain just says for a second, I fucking hate you. I'm going to cut your head off.
Sweeney Todd.
Yeah,
The
like
Sweeney
the
Todd of
Sweeney Todd
Liverpool.
where you just think, I'll end you now.
Nah. when I was an apprentice, when I was in college and that though, I didn't want to be a barber at all. I just hated it. Like it was all like loads of homeless people and like foreigners and that used to come in and like they were just dead rude, like entitled to getting a free haircut and they'd be like, oh mate, you like I don't want to cut your hair, you stink. But I remember this I don't even know where he was from. He was foreign anyway, and there was girls in the class and that. And I remember he went like that to a girl while
That's one of the girls.
I was cutting his hair, and I was like, "Wow, mate, she's about 16 or something, about 32. You dirty little bastard, right?" And he was like, "Yeah," like they're like staring at it, and I could just, it was the most uncomfortable thing ever. I remember it just ran through his head with the clippers and just went, "Ah, there you go, mate." And he went, "Oh, what have you done?" And I was like, "Mate, you're a dirty little perv, mate. Off, get out." And but like that wasn't the only one. There was another one who was pretty much similar, to be fair. I remember like he was horrible, and but like he wanted the girls to cut his hair, but like the girls were like uncomfortable to cut his hair because he was a perv.
Yeah.
And I had to chew in my mouth, and I literally just went, spat the chew in my hand, and just dolloped it on his head, rubbed it in.
What, rubbed it in like it was product? Do you want some product?
I just, but he had hair like yours, like dead thick, and like there was no way he was getting that chewy out. He'd have to shave it off. But I just went, "Ah, mate, you'll have to get out now. I'm done. There's your product." Just walking around with it, a spike like that.
There's another one then. Smelly client. Do you have smelly client?
I'm fortunate now that I work for myself that I don't.
You can pick and choose, can't you? You can think if someone stinks. I'll just...
Everyone gets the chance though. Like I'll go and do them, and if you stink, I'll probably go like, next time I cut your hair, I'll probably say to you like, "Hey mate, you stunk a bowl last time," you know.
Yeah.
Well, luckily I haven't. But in the shop, the last shop I worked in, there was this fella. He worked with food as well. He worked in a restaurant. I'm not naming names, but you'd spray his hair, and the water would just drip off.
Yeah.
Like,
what, is that like oily
just
hair?
grease, just like doesn't get a wash. But he stunk, like next level stunk about. It was disgusting. Like anyone would cut his hair, and you'd be as far away as possible cutting his hair. Like you would have sprayed it, and the water would just fell off, and like you just couldn't grease, and it was vile. And this one time he came in, it was, bear in mind, right, he'd get his hair cut and go to work stinking just after an haircut, working with food. Like these are the kind of people, like you know.
So he's serving food in a restaurant and there's all little bits of greasy hair and all that in it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, yeah, it was vile. Don't get me wrong, it weren't a classy restaurant.
See, this
but it weren't Mackey's either. But
yeah.
what's it called? It's like, yeah, this one time he came in, I went to him, "Mate, I can't cut your hair." Like, I just had enough. I probably had one of those mornings where I was like, "I can't be dealing with this today." He came in and he stunk. Like, next level, I went, "Mate, you're going to have to go home, get a wash, because I'm not going to lie, mate, you stink."
How does he take that?
He just went, "I don't know what you're on about." And I went, "Mate, you stink."
You can't deny it, can you? If someone says you stink, they're only being honest.
Yeah,
you
like,
can't say,
like,
no, I don't.
I just thought, I'd rather know if I stunk about me.
Yeah, you want someone to say, "Oh, just
Is it
get
like,
told on the slide."
It's probably about time.
"Oh, I can smell you, you know."
Yeah. But I don't made the public to him, like, I just said to him, "Mate, you're home." And he walked out the shop, and I thought, he's never going to come back, get in. And but he came back the next day, and he stunk. And I just thought, no way. How have you got the balls to come back?
It's horrible.
And but he thankfully, I never could say it again. He always went, "No, I'm going to wait for him, someone else." And I was like, yeah, good. That's that. To the other end of the shop.
It's different with us because when you're getting tattoos, it's obviously your hair.
You've got to sit on top of them as well, haven't you?
He sat right next to them and you get in an awkward position, especially if you're doing like, you know, like an inner forearm, or the worst is like either a chest. So when you do a chest, you get the breath because you're like that. And if you do a bicep, you get, yeah. Hey mate, just share breath for a bit.
Just that tuna.
Yeah.
Tuna.
So on the chest, you get the breath, and on the inner bicep, you get in the armpit, aren't you?
What about
So-
when you're doing the inner thigh?
Well, that's another one if you.
Proper
That's
huge smell.
Well, yeah, the awkward one with that.
Hey, did you mind your bed last night, mate? I can smell it.
Yeah, I can smell it on you. But if you're doing it in a thigh and then you're spending like a full day on it in a thigh and going for like a piss throughout the day.
Oh,
And then, you know,
we're all at the age now where
but
it's
yeah, as
almost
soon
like,
as you get to 13, you're getting like a bit of splashback on you. Everyone knows it's called, don't they? You're getting like a bit of soggy undies and your tattoo, and you can smell. You know, you think you need to
stale
change them
piss.
bills, mate.
I'll bear this in mind.
Yeah. Bring like a few pairs of undies with you if you get tattooed on
My,
the
listen,
inside.
my next tattoo is my inner thigh as well. So my tattoo artist, don't you worry, I will be prepared.
Or, you
Whoever
know,
that tattoo artist is.
Wear like, I don't know,
not you.
wrap your dick in cling film or put a plaster over your jap eye or something so the smell doesn't leak out of your kicks while you're getting tattooed. Out of that, I'll put like a mask on, like a COVID mask over your dick and balls. That might work. That might be better.
Oh, just imagine if someone came into the tattoo shop, bollock hole, just to go over
Oh, you know
Not
what?
catching this, mate.
I'll tell you the funny story about that. Again, it's hard without naming names, innit? I've got a client, and I was tattooing like his arse cheeks and his outer thigh, all over it, like the top of his leg. And he used to come in, and he used to wear these ballies. He had these Union Jack ballies, like proper budgie smuggler ones. Anyway, he come in for like a full day. And I said, before he come in, I was like, go and get changed into your ballies.
Does he follow you on Instagram, by the way?
Yeah, he's yeah, I won't go into further details, but yeah, he'll
Well,
he'll
I
probably
mean,
see
he knows
this.
now if he wears Union Jack ballies. Like,
Yeah, he'll probably see this and think, I can't believe he's telling everyone that. But anyway, you come in, I said to him, like, go and get changed. We come out the bog and he's like Union Jack ballies. And at the time, it was only Amy working. You know Amy, don't you? It was only
Yeah.
Amy working with me. She'll be fuming for me telling everyone this story, by the way. So we got the stencil on, lying down on the bed, about to tattoo him. And you know what I'm like? I like playing little pranks on people.
Yeah.
I like taking a piss. And at the time, it was just Amy working with me. So I said, Amy, do us a favour, can you? And I was taking the piss, but I knew she'd take it serious. That like, it was so funny. So I said to her, do us a favour. And at the time, she was still learning stuff. So, you know, she was willing to help out and like do what she needed to do to learn. So I said, put a pair of gloves on. And I'm just finding the stretch difficult. So if you put a pair of gloves on, can you just put your hands on each arse cheek and just spread his arse for us, just so I can like get a good stretch and pack this black in, and without hesitation, like no hesitation in whatsoever, just started putting the gloves on and went, yeah, no problem. She walked up and I looked at her and I was like, I'm just taking the piss. She was there, stood over this spread arse crack with gloves on, like fully ready to just spread his arse. Oh,
Did the
no.
client know though that you?
Yeah, he knew I was taking the piss. He was all for it. He was like, yeah, go on. But yeah, fucking hell. That was funny though.
Do you know what? There's nothing better than gullible people though.
I
I
love
remember
all that.
when I can't remember, it was my last tattoo when I was with you though, and we were taking the piss, going, oh yeah, if you've got OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, and we had everyone going. Yeah, we had like the whole shop going all day.
Amy was saying, oh, you can buy this makeup to cover your tattoos up and that. And I was like,
What did that girl say?
that's what I'm getting into. The girl, so this girl, she went, oh, I don't know if she said me and a fella got OnlyFans or just there. And she went, I've got OnlyFans and I've started selling piss. And I was just thinking, oh,
I
mate,
haven't really got it.
I'm only taking the fucking piss, but it gone that far. She came over to me, she was showing, oh, this is how you do it, and this is what you do. And I was just
This
like,
is what I put me piss in. This is how much to sell it for.
this is exactly what she was doing. She was coming right over, and I was just like, I've got to ride it.
I'm just lying about everything.
Not ride there. I mean, like ride the lie.
Did you ever get told to do anything stupid? No, when you were like an apprentice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to shop over the road for a long stand. So like the barber went to me. The base on the chair. It's all crooked. The chair's like bonky, and I was like, what am I meant to do about it, like? And he went, it's only over the road, he sells them, just, you'll know what you mean, just ask for a long stand, you'll know what you mean. Say it for me. And I was like, all right then, yeah. So I went over the road and I was like, all right, the lad in the bar was there, he said to ask for a long stand. And he said, you'll know what it means. And he went, oh, yeah. And
Yeah, just hang on there, mate.
yeah, so he went to the back and I was just like, I know he must actually be a dingy. Like, I thought he was having me on there. You know? And then for about 5 minutes and I was just like, where is he with his long stand? And I honestly reckon at least 10 minutes went by until I went, I am the long stand.
This is what I'm doing.
So then, like, I went back in the shop and literally just everyone was just howling. And I was like, have I just fell for the long stand? But the best one was the same barber. I used to be the most gullible person on the planet, by the way. If you told me something, I'd believe you. And he went, oh, this lad's got a big spot on his neck. And I was like, what's a whop of that? Like, he did have a big spot. And he went, do us a favour, like, go turn the kettle on and catch the steam in a bottle. And like, we'll burn the spot off. And I was like, I was half onto it, but I was like, I don't know if he's being serious here. It sounds like it could work, actually. You're steaming the spot off. Right? But like, if you think about it, like, that does sound like that could happen.
Yeah.
I think it does anyway. So like, I was hesitant and like went over to the kettle, put the kettle on, let the bottle stood over it, trying to catch the steam. And I was like, put my hand underneath it so there's still steam in there.
How old were you?
29. Last year. Nah, that's 17, 18. You can't do that to the kids these days. They'll go to HR about it.
Oh, everyone just starts crying about everything nowadays.
I don't know.
It's hard to, because I love having a laugh and like taking a piss. I like the environment that I work in to be like that, and I like everyone to like be on board. Obviously, you can't push people into acting like that, but I just like that type of environment where it's it's not serious. Everything's quite loose and
there's nothing worse than going to work and everyone's serious. I can imagine nothing worse than that.
I never ever wanted that. I can't work like that. But it's hard as the years go on, like as the decades go on, to when you see like younger kids come through now and they're offended by what you're saying and they haven't got that same type of like banter.
Yeah.
It's hard to know where's the line where you can still take the piss, but you're not offending. And I think that line gets lower.
You can't say that about me. I'm going to tell my mum.
Yeah,
and I'm like, it's 22, mate.
Yeah,
Get on with it.
See, it feels like yesterday I was 22, but everything was different back then. You could take the piss out of everything back, like 15 years ago when me and you were what 16, 17,
yeah,
15, 16,
17.
You could say a lot more than what you can say now, but now the line's so difficult to understand where you're going to start really offending people. And where
I identify as a cabbage.
Yeah, and I feel like I like dancing around that line with banter. I like
I honestly just think if someone's just easily offended, I don't want to cut your hair. I don't want to speak to you.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I'm like that with the shop. Like,
would you hire a tattoo artist who was like a proper up themselves and like dead offended? What are they called?
See, I've had
woke,
this.
innit?
Oh, woke. Yeah, no, I can't deal with
active.
that. No, I can't deal with that. Sorry, can't do it. I like trying to keep up with the times and trying to evolve. Trying to be a bit better and evolve with everything and understand new things. But at the same time, I can't. Like you said, then if someone comes in and they're just like, I'm fully woke and you can't say this and they can't say that. And all
I'm
that.
a vegan.
Yeah, vegans can fuck off as well. No, I just can't. It makes work too difficult. It makes the environment too tense. If you've got a group of people that are all on the same level and all sort of understanding each other's banter and stuff like that, and then you've got one person that's separate to that gets offended by everything, everyone starts. You're all onto it then. You're all onto the fact that it's just that person.
Joe, just think about how lucky you are that you can identify as just that one person and just say, we're not the problem here, it's you.
Well,
imagine working in a big business where like
they have to evolve to you, they have to like bend to you all the time.
You're in the wrong. I honestly don't reckon I'd survive working in a big business, which
I think you'd suit working in like a tattoo shop.
I'll be a tattoo artist, mate. I mean, I've proved in the past that I wouldn't survive in a big workplace. Sacked.
See, obviously with shops, it's different. So if you work in a shop, you're working with the public. So obviously you'd have to understand that level of, I can't just start saying things that's gonna, offend everyone, because you don't know who's coming in the shop. You start talking about like a certain subject matter, and you don't know if someone else has got a client in who could be like really offended by what you're talking about. So
Yeah.
read the room. You've got to be good at reading the room, if that makes sense.
So what? That is one thing without a doubt that like people need to do. Like I always used to call myself when I worked in the shop professionally unprofessional.
Yeah.
So like I'd dick about when I could dick about, but if there was someone there who you'd have to be a little bit respectful to or whatever.
Yeah,
you would be. But I remember years ago, I went to barbers and I had my little girl with me and she's dead quiet and dead shy, so she was just sat down. And the barber who was cutting my hair was having a laugh with the barber next to him, which I weren't bothered about, and did not tell him I was a barber either. And I used to go in and say I'm a taxi driver.
I do that with taxi drivers. I tell them I'm a joiner.
Yeah.
So can't be asked talking about
tattoo. What's your favourite tattoo, mate?
Yeah. Oh, fuck off, mate. Just take me to where it needs to be.
This barber was going, oh yeah, I was banging this beard the other day, and I was like, proper, got doing this and doing that. And I just went, hey mate, do us a favour, like, your daughter's like 5 there, just pack that conversation in, let's just while she's here. Like, and he went, I didn't even think on, and I was like, oh, don't worry, you know what I mean, sounds crack on. And then literally 2 minutes later, he just went, so anyway, yeah, I was spitting on her and doing all this, and I went, mate, what are you doing, lad? Like, luckily he was nearly finished with me, because I just went, oh, do you know what, mate, I can't be dealing with this, and just walked out. Yeah, but like, that's not me being easily offended. I was just like, read the room, lad, you can't be talking like that when there's like a 5-year-old kid in the room. Like, she doesn't want to be hearing anything like that.
I think that's a proper skill that loads of people don't have. If you're in like that group environment, in a shop, barbers, tattoo shop, salons, anything like that, read the room. Yeah. Because you'll cause trouble. You don't know who's in there and what they think and what they believe, or like you said then, like little kids and stuff. Like, there's just certain things you just can't say. Like, so read the room.
What happens there if someone's dead old and wants a tattoo? Can you do it? Because they've got like proper wrinkly skin, haven't they?
Just because they're old doesn't mean like they're an actual skeleton. They've still got skin. Like,
but you know what I mean, though, don't you? They've got like proper like wrinkly, creasy skin.
Do you know what's weird as well? Older people heal better, in my opinion, anyway. Not always, but more often than not, from what I've seen, older people heal better.
Do they? Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. Because you think, they've got looser skin, they've got weathered skin in most cases. Like, it's a bit more battered than, an 18-year-old skin. But for some random reason, they just heal better. I don't know why. Do you know what? They sit well better than younger people.
Older people couldn't give a fuck. Back in my day, you wouldn't be able to move.
Well, there's that. Like, back in my day, I've been through a lot worse than this and all that.
I was in World War II when I was in Japan.
Yeah. I've had a 50 caliber through my hip.
See that?
Yeah.
Wood.
Woods, yeah.
Pure oak hip.
Don't worry, mate, I can't feel a thing. I've had 16 ibuprofen this morning. That's what most old people could like, but they've just got more. They can, what's the word for it? They can deal with more than younger people. Younger people, especially these days, are shit. They're always crying about everything.
Every tattoo I've had, numbing cream.
Yeah, numbing cream's the way forward. Numbing cream's boss.
Shit house, aren't I?
What about
the worst thing in the tattoo industry that I hate?
That I hate?
You just see happening and you're just like, oh.
See, this is hard to talk about as well, because I want to mention this, but there's definitely people out there who will take it
viral, yeah.
Well, they will be people, and people just do, like, naturally, don't they? People hear something and think,
spicy.
Why is he talking about me? Or why? I've done that, and take everything that personal. But like, how do you know I'm even talking about you? Why are you taking things? That's one big thing.
Talking about Barry, just happens to have the same situation. Go on, tell
So
me
what,
about Barry.
that's one big thing I've tried to do over the past 2 years is take nothing personal.
You
'Cause,
can you?
well, you drive yourself mad, and then you start getting all paranoid and worried, and taking things personal. Just it doesn't do any good for anyone, does it? But talking about things that I hate studios that aren't owned by tattoo artists, and I always have. And the majority of tattoos are the same. That they don't like it as well.
Just a business. It's a business, man.
See, you've got. Obviously, I'm a shop owner, so I understand the business side to it, and there is a business side to it. But in most cases, when they're owned by people who aren't tattooers, it's just a complete piss take.
It's hard to understand what you're thinking, but you'd be able to understand what one of your tattoo artists is thinking, probably.
There's just boundaries, isn't there? There's, come and work here, pay a set rent or like a set percentage that works for you and works for me, and I can provide you with like a nice place to work, and we'll have a good relationship, and we'll get on well, and you earn money, you're happy, you're providing money to the studio that you're working in, that's great. And then there's people that'll just completely take the piss, just completely. All you think about is, oh, you're charging that much, I'm going to take as much of that off you as I can. And it does happen a lot, and it's sad to see.
What do you think about the pricing with tattooing? Because you see someone, you're just like, why is this fella here charging 60 quid a day, and this other one's charging 500 quid a day?
A lot of it.
Do you know what I mean?
There's loads of big arguments in this, so a lot of it's the price of materials. That's a massive one. That's huge.
Well, like the ink and the guns and all that.
Everything. We're sat here now with an iPad that I've bought for work, which is 1,200 quid. And then I take pictures with a camera that I've bought for work, which is another 700 quid. I tattoo you with a machine that's 1,200 quid.
How often you got to buy a new machine?
Not very often. Well, they say that, but it's tools of the trade, isn't it? If you're a tradesman, you've got a bunch of tools, haven't you? To do different things, and you've got backups there in case that one breaks and stuff like that. So you've got a bunch of tools, and tools in tattooing are expensive.
Yeah, I could imagine.
This is partly why you have to charge so much. You're printing stuff off on computers that are thousands. Your needles and your inks are hundreds of quid every time. So there's that, and then there's the fact that you're self-employed. So more often than not, if people are self-employed, it's going to be more expensive. Then you've got to take into account, if you're self-employed, you've got no pension, so you have to think about stuff like that. Then you have to think about supply and demand. I do this thing and people like it, so can I charge this? Yeah. Are people going to come and get it? Yeah. So,
cocky little bastard.
Well, you've got to, haven't you? You've got to think that way.
Yeah.
It's the same with you at your haircuts.
Yeah.
Are people going to get into? Can I charge X amount? And if I charge X amount, are people still going to come and get their haircut from me? Yeah. So charge it.
The barber owner pays the barber about 70 quid, 80 quid, maybe 90 quid at a push.
Is that a day?
Yeah, that's a day, yeah. It's all they earn. And at the absolute push, it's 100 quid, but
100 quid a day?
So
if you're working in a barber
you'll do very
shop,
well to be a barber earning 100 quid a day.
Oh, for what you earn yourself?
Yeah.
Oh. So what's the average if you're like a barber going into like a shop in town?
In town.
Is it daily rent or is it weekly rent?
So we only some rent shares, but like most of them are on a wage.
How does the wage work? I don't get that.
So it's like at a push, getting paid 100 quid a day. But I was on. I get this right here. I think I was on 70 quid a day until I left. And I just like since I've left, I just went, how was I earning 70 quid a day and living? But what's it called? So, but I just find it mad that barbers charge 25 quid, 30 quid an haircut. Barbers are shit, and the barbers don't get paid what they're worth. Mad.
Yeah.
Like that's why I just couldn't work in the shop anymore.
Because you're giving them too much.
I remember I used to be in the shop, and don't get me wrong, I do not blame the boss. But like I'd be doing like 30 haircuts, and I was dead made up myself. I was like, I've done 32 haircuts today, and like you get an extra tenner because you've done so many. And I was like, I made up there 80 quid.
Made up to get me extra tenner.
Yeah. And but like now I'm just like, fucking hell, imagine if I'd done 30 haircuts while I'm self-employed, I'd be minted. So like I was making the boss minted while I was skint. Mad. I don't understand why anyone would be employed being a barber.
Yeah, it's similar with us. There's studios in Liverpool now, and they've got artists working for them. Obviously, I'm not naming names, but them tattooers are giving that shop over £1,000 a week. £1,000 a week, just to work in there, and you're thinking. In most cases, if you were to go to a studio that's owned by a tattooer, you're paying like a quarter of that.
God, how much do you charge a week?
£250 a week. And that's about
You looking for
average.
another tattoo artist as well?
I think £250 a week is average all round.
But that's about right though, isn't it?
That's about right. It's about average. That is enough. So if you're a full-time tattooer working all week, to provide the studio with £250 a week is enough. The consumables that you're using, you're covering, or you're covering for all of them: gloves, kitchen roll, cling film, all the little essential bits that you're using. You're covering all of that, and you're paying a little bit to work in that space that they've created. So £250 a week is about average. I think as soon as you start going towards 5, 6, 7, it's a bit like.
You'd understand if it was in town or something, maybe at a push, because the rent on the buildings is a bit more expensive, isn't it?
The rent on the buildings are more expensive, but then just because the rent on the buildings more expensive doesn't mean that you can expect the artist to pay more.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Fair enough, yeah.
You can expect, but when you can expect the artist to pay more is when they're charging like a significant amount for their day sessions in your studio. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then even then, like, £250 is still average.
People are going to get the tattoo from that tattoo artist. They're not going because the shop.
Well, this is the thing that a lot of people won't realise yet. So let's say, for example, a studio in Liverpool, and you walk in, you get tattooed by an artist in there, and they charge you £500. There's studios where they'll be paying 50-50 percentage on that. So you're giving that tattooer £500 for the day session. They're using all their materials and stuff like that, and then they're giving 50% to the studio. So they're taking £250. Now, obviously,
some fellas just sat on his ass, earning £250.
Well, they're just taking that much for nothing, for literally nothing at all.
Probably does he provide all like the ink and all that normally?
Some will, some won't. But again, that's.
You probably only want your own ink stuff, don't you?
This is it. If when you're an artist, you've got your preferences and you've got your materials that you'd rather work with, and there's so many different types of needles and inks. So you may think, I only like them certain needles. I only like that certain brand. So can you buy me them? And then the studio's like, oh no, I'm not buying them. They're too expensive. But you're like, well.
Yeah, I'm £500 a day.
I'm giving 50% of what I make, so you've got to provide me with whatever I want, and it just creates so many complications. That's why I prefer just do a flat average rent through the week, and everyone's happy.
You know what you need to do then, don't you?
Yeah, this is it. Just a flat rate every week, and it keeps everything so much simpler. But 50%, fucking hell, that's bad. That.
Scary, that.
And then what ends up happening is them artists who are on, so for example, when you're doing that like 50-50 split or paying that studio a lot of money, the danger is when the studios, obviously it works with some people, but in most cases, and from what I think as a tattooer, when the studio's running all your own appointments for you and they're dealing with the clients, it leaves you in a position, you can picture it now, can't you? The studio's organising all your appointments for you and booking your clients in, and they're taking 50% off you. So then if you're in a position where you think, I want to leave here, I'm not happy here, do you know what, I've seen something that works better for me, I might go and try that. You're in a difficult position because all them clients have been conversing with the studio and not you. So then you're in a position where you think, I've spent years here where the studio's been organising me appointments. Now I've got to do it all myself and I haven't really got my own clients. Now I can't leave. So imagine being that studio owner, you're laughing. Because
got them by the balls.
You've got them by the balls. You're thinking, this fella's giving me 50% every day, on average about £1,000 a week. And he can't even leave because I organise all his clients. It's fucking terrible.
it'd be scary, wouldn't it, to start off with? Once you do it,
It's
though, you
fucking
realise how like much easier it is.
Yeah, this is
Like,
it. Yeah.
but like it is hard to take that jump. It's hard.
It is hard, but you can do it. And the best way to look at it, I was paying that studio that amount, so why don't I just spend a similar amount? If well, you could spend a lot less on your own marketing.
Yeah.
Do some paid posts and promoted posts, and
I've never once done a promoted post on Instagram.
it's not like it used to be. It's shit now. And then the algorithm starts recognising what you've been paying, and then wants you to pay more. So for example, if you were, I've done it loads of times. If you were to spend £100 on a post, and then you post it and it performs well, then the algorithm recognises he's just spent £100 on a post, and I'll give him the performance, and it'll do well, and people will see it, and it'll get all the interaction. So the next one he spends £100 on, I'll make sure it's a bit shit, so he spends
better,
more. Because
yeah.
then you think, oh, I'm gonna have to spend £120, or do you know what? That didn't do that well. I'll spend £150 on the next one, and this is the cycle. It just keeps happening with it. It is hard, but
It's one of those you've got to do, innit?
It's
Yeah.
tough shit, yeah.
When you're charging £600 a day.
Do you know what? Talking about like what we charge with tattooing, the UK is definitely one of the cheapest places for tattooing.
Is it? Yeah.
You go down Europe and America. See, when I was in America, like, when was that? 2017. I was charging like a cheap day rate, and that cheap day rate was $1,600 a day. So in
What?
comparison to the UK, we're definitely one of the cheapest countries for tattooing. On average, if you're tattooing in anywhere in America now, or even Europe, let's just say Europe, let's say France, it's probably €1,500 a day for a day session.
Wow.
You start moving over to America for like high end tattoos, and you're talking $5,000 a day. So then you look at the UK and think on average between $400 and £600-700 a day. Average, not that bad. Obviously, tattooing's expensive, but as a whole, we're defo the cheapest. It's mad, isn't it?
Would never have thought that, to be fair. Like,
It's mad. Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to be a tattoo artist?
Do you know what? We had someone come in not that long ago, and advice that I'd give: stay away from the courses.
You tell me what the course you mentioned that earlier.
I don't know what them courses. First one it's
If I went on Google now and went,
if you went on
tattoo
Google and
course.
put tattoo course, a load of them will come up all around the country. But when they first started coming out, no one really knew much on how they were going to be set up. Are they even set up by tattooers? If they're set up by tattooers, are they set up by tattooers that, a decade in with all this experience? More often than not, no. More often than not, what you see is they're actually shit. And it's just a money-making business, that's the thing. So you have all these, hungry, young people trying to get into tattooing, thinking, I've seen this course, it's £2,000. And then their parents are like, do you know what? I know how much you want to get into tattooing. I'll give you the £2,000. And then they go and pay it, and they do this course. And it's like, in some cases, you can do day courses now. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
There's a smiley face. Well done.
But, let's just say it's 2 weeks. Let's say it's like a 2-week course. And you try and squeeze all this stuff into this 2 weeks that people have spent 5 years trying to learn. It's just impossible. You can't do it. And obviously, it's just a complete waste of money. So then people do this course and then think they're just going to walk into a studio. They walk into a studio, and I've seen this. I've seen it happen. Walk into a studio saying, I'm looking for a job. I'm looking for somewhere to work. I'm a tattooer. And then you do a bit of digging and you ask them questions, and it turns out they've just done this course. And you think, you're fucking joking. Every one of us in here spent years, apprenticing and trying to learn as much as we can. It's took us so long to be here where we are now.
It's giving people an entitled
it's just
vision
like a
kind of
false
thing,
perception of I'm entitled to do this now, and I've got all this experience. You haven't got any fucking experience. You've paid a couple of quid to do this course, but you've got no experience whatsoever. So they need to, it needs to shift. So if you do this course, I'm telling you now, if you do one of these courses, don't do that course and then expect to just walk into a studio. It's not happening. And if it does, get out. Go somewhere else. Because you shouldn't be fucking happening. They shouldn't be taking you on. Because you shouldn't be tattooing the public. You shouldn't be tattooing. So don't expect to just swan into somewhere. I had it like not that long ago. It did happen. Someone come in and said, I've done this course. And then when we realised what was actually involved with the course and how much that person actually knew, it was, you know, it was minute. It wasn't a lot at all. So I sort of said, okay, right, look, now I understand what you've actually been doing on this course. I'm going to have to strip everything back and sort of start from the start. But obviously, if you've paid 2,000 quid to do a course, you're not going to want to do that, are you? So you think, fuck that, I've paid 2,000 quid, I don't want to.
I've got a certificate.
I've got a certificate off gobshite, and and you know, I'm a tattooer now, and this is the thing, these people are doing this course and then walking into studios, and there's studios, like high street studios, that the public are going to walk into and get tattooed by these people. You could be walking through town now, I'm not going to mention like names of studios and stuff, and there's people working there who have done these courses that have lasted, you know, a few weeks, and then you walk in as part of the public, say, oh yeah, I want this tattoo, oh yeah, so-and-so will do that for you today, and they've done that course and they're tattooing you. It's fucking mental. It's ridiculous. It's a joke.
Wow.
It's scary. But then obviously the more popular these become, the more people like that you're creating. So tattooing's just getting saturated with these people who have done these fucking courses. And then they're all, you know, it's just getting busier with people like this, and it just fucks it up for everyone.
That's probably where Instagram helps though, innit? Because you'd say to someone like, well, let's see your work on Instagram then. And then once you don't have any work, you'd be like, you're not a tattoo artist, mate.
You're not really a tattoo, you've just done this course and you're a tit.
You're a mug, not a tit.
But again, like studio owners shouldn't be taking them type of people on as tattooers to tattoo the public straight away.
Yeah, like
you should be took on as like, whoa, okay, right, you've done this course, but we're still going to have to start a brand, like a completely new apprenticeship with you. This course doesn't mean you can tattoo. And this is where it's all going wrong. So you shouldn't be charging people that much, you're taking the piss. So let's do this fucking stupid course. Do you have stuff like that in barbering?
Sure, there's loads of like, it's a, what's it called, like you can get an MVQ and that in barbering.
How long does that take?
I think it's about a year, I think. Mine's about a year, but you don't learn anything if you it's the exact same. If you've done a year's MVQ and you haven't been to a shop, all you've done is tick boxes in the boxes where you get test on. Like, you don't actually have to do anything. There's some fella to go like, oh yeah, you've done a number 2 all over. You're a barber now. Like, it's mad. You need to be in a barber's. Like, I was in the barbers, and like I was like, oh yeah, I done a number 1 back inside in college, and then like they go like, well, good for you. Like no one cares. Like you can't do one here. Like, so it took me, I reckon, from walking into that barber's asking for the merch to being on the floor with no one watching over me, about 18 months maybe, which is, I reckon that's probably slower than most, but that's because like I just used to dick about all the time. I reckon it would take, you don't need to go to college, you're never going to go to a barber's and they go like, let's see your MVQs. I'm just going to see like, well, let's see how good you are. So I'd say to a kid who wants to be a barber, just start knocking on barbers and asking for an apprenticeship. You probably won't even get paid, but like,
how long wouldn't you get paid for?
Until you do a couple of haircuts, you probably take a small wage.
So how long would you be in that barber shop learning for before you'd actually charge for the haircut?
I mean, if they were to me, I'd be charging the clients anyway, because I'd go over and make sure the haircut's all right. So I'd say like, well, that's a easy haircut. Do so much of it, and then I'll come over and I'll show you how to do the rest. So like,
do you charge them full whack?
I charge the client full whack. Yeah, I love money.
Cheeky bastard. Wouldn't you say like, you know what, the apprentice? No,
I probably would.
I'd
probably just do it for a £5 or something. Then I'd probably give that money to the apprentice. If it was up to me, that's probably what I'd do. So like, I'd say to the client, like, listen, this is the apprentice. He's just gonna do just the back and the sides. He won't be blending it in or anything. He's just going to do that. Then I'm going to show him how to blend in. Do you mind?
Yeah,
That's what I'd
that
do.
sounds like it'll work
But,
well, yeah.
There's loads of courses. It's like, I'd try and get on a course because that's like a footing. Like if you turned up to, it's like any business, and if you turned up to a barber's and went, so like, oh, I've just started this course in Liverpool Community College or something. They've asked me to just get a job. Is there any chance I can just work here 3 days a week or something? But they've got more chance of saying yeah than go. You just turn up and going, oh, I want to be a barber.
Yeah.
And can I do an haircut? Like it doesn't work like it does when I got my job because there's millions of barbers out there now.
Yeah.
But I just see there's more doors to knock on. Just ask for the barbers. Like, don't plan on following me around in your car.
So, are you similar to me? What do you hate? When you look at like barbering, what do you look at some things and think, oh, I can't
You know
stand
what?
that.
So, in England, it's not too bad, but you see some stuff like you can enhance a haircut on a picture. If I take a picture, put it on Instagram, I've just done it on my phone, and like that's just how the haircut looks. But you see loads of people on Instagram. You've probably seen it where it's dead sharp all around. They put black powder on your hair, so it looks good on a filter.
Just for the picture.
Yeah.
It's like tattoo and everything's just for the picture.
So it's like they'll rub it so the fade looks unbelievable, and you're like, but I can see where the powder is, and I can see what you've done, but like it doesn't look like that. So you'll see people with like the beard lines that look dead crisp, and it's like it just looks like mine now. It's just that it's being enhanced.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's the same as tattooing. Yeah.
That's just made them, because people come over to me with pictures and go, I want it to look like that. And I've got to then explain to you, I'm like, well, that doesn't look like that.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same with us. Even when we take a picture, and it's hard to find the lines of like what you should and shouldn't do. But
what I like about seeing your stuff though is every now and again you'll put up and go like, this is the day I done it, and then this is 6 months later when it's healed. Because you see a tattoo when it's first done, it stands out and boss.
Yeah, that's it.
But then 6 months later,
everything's dead, like it's full of contrast, and it's, you know, it's dark and it's bold and it's bright, and then it's healed and it's completely different.
Yeah.
So this is why I prefer videos now, because it's a lot, you know, years ago, most of the time you just put pictures on, and then you get all like the Instagram gobshites, like, oh, you've done this to it and you've done that to it and you've asked around with it and all that, and you're like, well, if I put a video on, like I'm just showing it for what it is. So that's, I definitely prefer videos now, just to be like, it's just a legit video of what I've just done. But are you similar to us, where like people will use lenses and all that to take the pictures?
Some barbers will, but
see, I don't mind that.
I just go on portrait, or I just use a normal picture.
Just a normal, yeah.
I'm too late. I'm too old school with all that. Like,
you're like an old man, aren't you?
My clients know what they're getting. Like, I don't need to. It doesn't. To me, it doesn't matter what some fella in America thinks of my barbering, because I'm never gonna cut his hair. But with you, there's a chance he'll go, because that's what people like. He'll go like, I love that tattoo artist. I'm gonna go and get a tattoo off him.
I'm trying to get like a wider reach, aren't I?
Yeah. Where to me, I just need to keep all the people who I'm doing happy.
It's different. See, we use a CPL lens, so it's basically...
It's where it makes it look all orangey and stuff, innit?
It's circular, polarising lens. So with them little clips that you might have seen me do it, like I clip it onto my camera on my phone, and then you have the light with the polarising film on. And it's basically... light bounces off skin, different, and it shows up a lot. You know, when you've got like, you know, oils on the skin, or we're wiping it with green soap and it's got ink on and Vaseline and all that. So when light hits the skin, it's so shiny, and a polarizer just gets rid of that shine. So you see it for what it truly is, not with all like the shine and the glare and all that. So it does help, but obviously people can take that to an extreme as well. Put people under false pretenses. So, fine line.
But what would you recommend to someone who wants to book in? Like, they've never had a tattoo before, would you say?
Wants to book in with me?
But just in general. Like, I've never had a tattoo, and I want a full sleeve tomorrow. What would you say? What would you say to me?
Do you know the mistake a lot of people make is thinking that someone can do everything? So you see a good tattooer who does good mandalas. You know what a mandala is?
Sort of the squiggly lines, like a flower,
like geometric type patterns and stuff like that. that doesn't mean he's good at like colour
Someone in your shop
realism.
that's dead good with that, isn't he?
Yeah, there's a couple, yeah. That doesn't
Not
mean
you.
that he's that person. No, I'm shit at it. I can't. I'm shit. that doesn't mean that person's good at like colour realism. There's that many different styles that people make the mistake of assuming that one person is good at everything, and that's not the case. You know, I might be good at, you know, someone might say I'm good at black and grey realism, but that doesn't mean I'm good at colour, or it doesn't mean I'm good at traditional or lettering or anything like that, because I'm really not. I struggle putting lines in. I look at the lines some people put in and think, wow, that's fucking brilliant that I couldn't do that. So that, you know,
That shows that how comfortable you are with yourself, though, as well, don't it?
well, it's just honesty, yeah. It's
Yeah.
just, that's why I like working with different people, because, you know, there's people that I work with who are a lot better than me at certain styles and different ways of working, and I love that. That's fucking great, that. Because I can walk around the shop and be like, wow, I couldn't do that. I don't know how the fuck they've done that. I can't keep that still and that composed, and I can't pull lines that well. Yeah, like they might argue that I can make something look a bit more realistic, but that's just, you know, that might be a strength that I've got, but there's plenty of things I'm shit at as well.
So if someone wants a tattoo, they need to see what that tattoo artist can do and comfortable with. So just
Yeah, I have a good
be
look
able to
around.
be able
Yeah,
to be have an honest conversation.
yeah.
That's
Because
probably on more on the tattoo artist side, then, isn't it?
yeah, so there's a side with the tattooers that need to be more honest as well. So if someone, I do it all the time. Someone is to come into me and say, I want a portrait. I'm like, oh, great. And they're like, I want it in colour though. It's my responsibility to be honest and say, I'll be totally honest with you, mate. There's someone who is a lot better than me. I know of a couple of people if you want me to push you in their direction, but I'm not the person for that. And I think that's part of a tattooer's job, to be that honest and say, I'm not really the best person for this. There's some people that'll argue that like, well, no, I want to try and be all round, but a lot of the time, sometimes that's where shit tattoos can come from.
Yeah, I
Do
would
you know what I
imagine. Yeah, I've had it myself though with barbering. To be fair, people have showed me an haircut of like, trying to think of someone now, like you know, like the Arctic Monkeys, where it's like them big mad hairstyles, like avant-garde or whatever it's called.
So is there some that you look at and think,
I'd
I
just go
can't
like,
do that?
I'd be honest, I'd give it a go, but I definitely wouldn't be able to make it look like that. Like
Yeah.
that an hairdresser's done it or something. Like
Yeah.
I've had clients who like, I've had black clients with an afro, and they said, oh, can you just do a fade or whatever? I'm like, nah, no chance, mate. But like,
So you're out honest.
but I'd say to them, like, I'll give it a go, but I
Mm.
guarantee, go somewhere else. Just go to a black
You'll be
barber.
better off.
Let a black barber do your hair, and he'll do it properly.
Yeah.
Like, it'll take me forever, and it'll be shit.
See, I have that difficulty sometimes with clients with darker skin, and I've had it in the past where one of them's like showing me work, you know, like a reference of an idea that they've got, but it's on like really white skin. Like,
Yeah.
this is a challenge now. You know, how do I get me point across in the right way? How would you word things in the right way to make someone understand that like it's not going to have the same effect? Because if you don't darker skin, you have to work with like higher contrast and like less mid-tones and all this type of stuff, and you just don't get the same effect. It's hard.
Higher contrast and higher mid-tones, don't forget that,
Oh
guys.
yeah.
I know exactly what we're on about.
Yeah.
So have you got to use like a darker ink, is that what you mean?
Not a darker ink, but for example, if you look at something that's real, so let's say these curtains here, it's got black in the middle there,
Yeah.
and where the shadow's strongest, and then it gets lighter, and then it has like highlights. So on darker skin, you'd use solid black and less of this mid-tones. It's hard to explain, but
I'm
it's
assuming
just,
what you're talking about, though.
yeah. Yeah, it's hard to explain. What else have we got? Oh yeah, here's one for you. Have you ever had any? I've put hiccups / falling out with people along the way. So have you ever had any like awkward fallouts with people along the way over the years?
With barbers or with clients?
I
Go with
think-
both, eh?
Yeah, let's go with both. Yeah, okay, yeah. Go on, you go first. Yeah, let's start with barbers then. If you ever like fell out with barbers.
Yeah. I'm a stubborn little bastard, mate.
Is it similar
So-
to me when you come to like leave somewhere or something like that? You don't-
Leave somewhere. I'd probably say the last place I left, that I got on with. I've got no bad feelings towards
Mhm.
the owner of the shop at the time. Because I left him on my own accord, and like he was like
Fair enough.
fair dues, yeah.
Yeah.
But didn't rob his clients either. Like I had my own clients and just done that. But there was a barber there. I'm not naming names, but Jesus Christ, like the barbers are dead bad with like trying to pick and choose the clients. So like if like say me and this barber are doing a skinhead, they'll either rush that skinhead or do it dead slow to get the next client. So like so they try and work the client. So like say Barry who's sitting down next, he tips a $5, right? And he'll go to anyone, but he'll give anyone a $5. Right?
Yeah,
So
okay.
she or he will go like do it dead quick, and then Barry's in the chair so he can get a little $5. And I'm like, mate, just do the haircut that's in front of you, like,
Yeah.
and then worry about that. But this one time we were finishing late, and I had like a dead hard haircut to do, and I just don't have my normal pace. But there was another client sitting down, and it was whoever got that client left late, simple as. So like, and I realised this, so the barber was just going dead slow, and I was just like, you probably could have finished the haircut you're on now and done that haircut
Mhm.
before I've done this haircut. But because you've gone dead slow, you're trying to push that haircut onto me. So I just done my haircut at my time and just got off. And there was murder the next day. Like absolute murder. And I remember they were like phoning the boss, and the boss was phoning me. And like I was just like, sort your fucking head out.
Mm.
Like I'm only getting paid at a certain time. If someone wants to
Mm.
start playing games, let them play games themselves. It's like me and that person didn't get on. It was just like, because I was too stubborn. Actually, like I probably could have done that haircut, but I was just like, you know what, fuck off.
Yeah.
Um,
Have you had like fallouts with people when you've left certain places and then they've been a bit bitter with you or a bit off?
nah, not really. To be fair, that's probably the worst one with another barber. Like, but clients, I've had to with clients in the past. Like,
What's happened?
so one client who's here to do, I still do now. He asked me while I worked in the last shop to cut his hair in his house, and I was like, lad, I'm finishing work at like 6 o'clock anyway. Like, do us a favour. Like, if I can't, like, I will. But like, I'll charge you more because it's gonna be like 7 o'clock by the time I get there. And he was like, yeah, sound, yeah, whatever. And I didn't end up doing it. He went out, lad, don't bother, can't be bothered with the hair getting on my couch or whatever. And I was like, sound, I'm not bothered. He ended up splitting up with the bird he had, right? She ended up speaking to the boss, like trying to get into the boss that I had at the time, and told the boss that I used to go around to cut his hair. The boss phoned me, he was like, what are you doing mobile and that, lad? Like, you got sacked from your last shop for doing mobile. And I was like, I don't know what you're on about. I haven't done any.
Oh.
And realised this bird was like trying to like get me sacked because I was like half matey with that client. And I was just like, wow, she's a psycho, mate. Fucking hell. Has ever seen a red flag before? I phoned the client and I was like, lad, you lucky bastard, getting away from her. But I've had it where, like, I don't know how much I can say. I've got a bird in that now. But I remember there was one bird who used to come into the shop, and he ended up getting friendly. Let's go with that. And she had kids, and me and her, you know what I mean, right? So stayed in hers one night, just, you know, like, I was just looking at the walls and that, and stayed in hers, and an ex-fella was dropping the kids off while I was still there, and I was like, what's going on?
You were still in the house?
I was still in the house, and an ex turned up, right? And so my car was outside and everything.
My God.
And she went, oh, you cut his hair as well? And I was like, what? Well, you know my car? And she went, oh yeah, he's a mechanic. He does like MLTs and that.
Cut his hair.
Yeah, so she started sleeping with her kid's barber and her ex's barber to get back at him.
Oh my.
Don't get me wrong, I was made up. So, no, I'd seen him like a couple of weeks later in the shop, and he was like, what the fuck's that all about, lad? He weren't bothered. Like, he like, but she thought she was getting one over on him, and I was just like, "Oh, lad, I didn't mean anything by that." Like, and he was like, "As long as you get your nuts, lad, it's sound."
Right, I've got one before we have to stop. What do you do as a barber if someone farts and it stinks while you're cutting their hair?
I'd make
It's hard one, that, innit?
I'd make a laugh out
Do you
of
make
it.
it obvious? Like, do you let them know that you can smell it?
With me now, though, it's like, it's just me and them there, innit?
Ah,
So,
yeah,
like,
so sometimes you're
so-
in their house,
So
aren't you?
I'll just go to him, lad, you smelly bastard.
Yeah, because they
But,
can
like,
fart in their own.
Yeah, but like it's one of them. Like,
If I'm getting
but,
my hair cut in my own house and I need to fart, I'm gonna fart.
you'd have.
Yeah,
Like,
probably have.
like,
Yeah.
but when it was in the shop, I just get the air dryer, start blowing the air at like all the other barbers.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You can blow it in someone. Yeah, that's good. That yeah. Like a barber you don't like next to it, and you just blow a fart with the air dryer. Yeah, that's clever.
So
I like that.
bitch.
See, it's hard for
Look
us
what you
'cause
do.
sometimes I just like blow it.
Got to sit and fester in it, haven't you?
Well, he's sitting infested in it, but like sometimes I'll add like. Sometimes I'll see, because they know as well. So if you're the client that's farted, you know you farted. So then if I do anything like I don't know, sometimes I might stand up and I'll get some kitchen roll or paper and be like, oh, this bit of stencil isn't dry, you know, like wafting their direction, so they know I've smelt the fart and that I'm wafting it. Or sometimes I'll wait till, because a lot of people are on the phone when they're getting tattooed,
You
they're
need to
like
get a little
looking away.
Febreze.
Oh, it's obvious though, innit? Sometimes
pe-
I'll just like, you know, like
Oh,
blow in the direction of the fart.
Imagine if it's
and then
like,
it's gone.
ah.
Mm.
Nah,
It is hard.
if I was you, I'd make it obvious and I'd just be like, hey, bro, mate, here.
That stinks.
Bro, else, that's disgraceful, that,
That
mate.
fucking stinks.
Yeah. Like, you can make jokes out of it.
Yeah. That's an hour and 15 done.
That's an hour. We've just been there for an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, nah,
That went quick, that, didn't it?
That went quite quick. Yeah.
To
be fair, I hope everyone else enjoyed listening to it. A load of absolute.
Tune in.
Like, subscribe, and all that.
Yeah. Buy the products in the link below.
I just want to say thanks to me advertisers as well.
Yeah. Thanks for Monster Energy for sponsoring the post.
Creative Element Tattoo and Liverpool Mobile Barbering.
Yeah.
Anything else? Dead quick.
Try and think of something funny before we have to go.
Do you know what? Just save it for next time.
Yeah, we'll save it for next time.
See you next time, peeps.
Okay, well, yeah, what I do want to
no.
leave on, if there's anything that we haven't answered here, I want people to like put in the comments. If there's if there's like topics that you want to hear us talk about, I think that'd be funny.
Yeah, to be fair, same.
So just let us know in the comments if there's stuff or questions that you think I'd love to know that, or like funny
Or
stories.
just drop us a DM if it's an embarrassing question. Just give me a DM.
Don't drop me a DM because I'll just ignore it.
Yeah, just drop me a DM. Because, like, honestly, the amount of people that I've said, "Oh, get a tattoo off Sean," and he just completely blanks people. And then the worst thing is, you got to email him, and it's still not even him that emails you back. He gets you the tattoo artist to email back. The other tattoo artist, by the way, sign off in their name. So drop me a DM, and
we'll sort it out.
I'll make a script, and we'll get it sorted next time.
Sounds finito.
Hasta la vista, bitches. Don't forget, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button. Costs you nothing, but it means absolutely everything to us.